I'm Dr. John Demartini, and welcome to the Millionaire Mindset Challenge. I'd love to share with you today some really amazing tips that I know that can help you become wealthier. It's the tips that I found that are common to all the wealthy billionaires that I've had the opportunity to spend time with or interview. So I'd like to share with you those, and I hope you have a pencil and a paper, because if you do, you're going to get some great ideas here. The first thing is that when I go around the world and I ask people how many of you want to be financially independent, in 1,000 audiences, 10,000 audiences, people put their hands up. And they all just assume they want to be wealthy and they want to be financially independent. They all rally around the idea. And then I ask them, how many of you are? And many of those hands go down, most of them. And then I ask them, so what's the percentage of the people that become financially independent and very wealthy in life, of the whole population? And I hear 1, 2, 3, 5% out of the audiences. It's actually less than 1%. The majority of people don't become wealthy. They don't have financial wealth, at least. They have wealth in other areas of life, but not financial wealth. And so there's a reason for that. Most people have a fantasy about being financially independent, but what they do is they have desires for immediate gratification and consumerism and buying things that depreciate in value, and they never save and invest and build their fortunes. So I'd like to talk about how to raise true wealth building up on your value list, because the hierarchy of your values will dictate your financial destiny. The things you really value will determine what you act on when it comes to your money. You're always going to spend money according to what you value most. If you don't value really building financial independence and wealth, you'll probably end up spending your money on consumerism like the majority of the people. So I'd like to share with you what I call the 6 steps to wealth that can make a difference in your financial destiny. And it will raise wealth building higher on your value list than you've ever had it before. So get your pens and papers ready, because here we go. The first step, the first key to building wealth, is something that's so common sense that most people overlook it. And that is they have to have a desire to build a business, directly or indirectly, that serves vast numbers of people. You won't find any billionaire out there that hasn't built a business to serve vast numbers of people. You won't find it. You go to the head of Microsoft and Bill Gates, or you go to Richard Branson, or you go to Larry Ellison, or you go to Warren Buffett, or you go to any of the names that are billionaires. They've all built a business that serves vast numbers of people, great numbers of people. So if you don't have a desire to have a work ethic, you don't have a desire to directly or indirectly serve people, you may be having a fantasy that you're going to be financially independent somehow. But you have to directly or indirectly care about human beings. If you don't have a desire to serve, and I always say that when you can't wait to get up in the morning and be of service to people, people can't wait to get your service. If you don't have a desire to go out there and make a difference in the world and serve people and get up and do something amazing that can make a difference in their lives and serve some need, where's the money going to come from? Oh, you might go off and gamble on some investments to try to do it, but my objective is to help you realize that if you go and serve people, you deserve vast rewards. And the greater the numbers of service, the greater the numbers of rewards. And I find that when I ask people how many of you use Microsoft Windows, they all put their hands up. How many have heard of Warren Buffett? They built a brand. So the first thing is to write 200 benefits down of how building a business that serves vast numbers of people will serve your life. Because when you have a big enough reason for doing it, you will. When the why is big enough, the house take care of themselves. But you have to have a reason for going out and building wealth. So write the reasons down. And don't write down, oh, if I build that business, then I can buy that jet, I can travel those things, I can do this trip, I can spend my money, I can buy those clothes. That's consumerism. You want the benefits of actually going in there and directly or indirectly building a business that serves people. If your heart's not into that, it's not going to happen. You have to have a real reason for doing that. And that doesn't have to be directly. You might hire somebody that does part of that, but you need to have your heart and soul into serving people. That's important. So 200 benefits of serving vast numbers of people, directly or indirectly. And don't stop until you do it. And you'll probably stop at about 30 and go, I don't know what to write. That's probably because you don't have a big enough reason for doing it. But when you have big reasons to doing things, you get big jobs done. The second thing is to write 200 benefits of refining that business and working on that business and maximizing the efficiency of that business so it maximizes profits. And again, this can be directly or indirectly. But if you don't have a reason for refining it, where's your profits going to come from? So many people have an idea of building a business, but it takes prioritizing and delegating and making sure you're doing the most important things, numero uno. The people who learn the art of focusing on the highest priority things, the things that produce the most and serve the most people in the most efficient way, they're the ones that have the profits. So you have to work on the business, not in just the business. If you do, you'll have more profit margins, and the second you have 200 benefits of doing that, you will think of all kinds of ways in which you can do your business more effectively. And when you do, you'll serve more people, which is a source of income. The third step is 200 benefits of saving an ever-progressive portion of the profits. Because if you're not saving it, you're not building the crystal that starts the seed reaction. You have to start to save your money, because people who save their money and build up a liquid cushion stabilize their business. They have higher quality clients. They have less volatilities in their business. They attract more opportunities, more ideas, more associations in their business. And because of it, they're more confident to go and sell their business. So if you got $10 saved, you hang out with 10-aires. You have 1,000 saved, you hang out with 1,000-aires. You got 1,000,000 saved, you hang out with millionaires. You got 1,000,000,000 saved, you hang out with billionaires. Saving your money and building up liquidity is the first step of building wealth. And I always say, save before you invest, before you speculate. But by saving and building up liquidity, you'll stabilize the business. And if you have a desire to serve, and you have a desire to make it more efficient, and you desire to save, you're on your way. Because if you never save your money, you'll be working your whole life for money. If you save your money, it'll start working its life for you. One is the slave, one's the master. The next one is 200 benefits of now progressively investing in ever greater degrees of return and reward in life. You want to earn the right to risk. You want to learn how to invest and study investing. If you really value something, you'll study it. If you really don't value it. I had a gentleman just today come up to me and he says, I want to be financially well off. I said, how many books have you ever read on the topic? He goes, I've never read a book on it. I said, you don't really want that. You want the lifestyle, the fantasies that people have. And fantasies will create your nightmares. You have to care about wealth building enough to study it and to learn it, to master it. Warren Buffett, before he was 11 years old, already read all the books in the Omaha, Nebraska library on wealth building. Imagine how dedicated he was. No wonder he's wealthy as he is. So study it. When you really, really, really value something, you'll study it, you want to learn about it. If you're single or married acting single, and you basically meet somebody out there and you go, oh, they're attractive, you want to get to know them. Well, it comes to wealth too. The one who values money most is the one that gets it. Money circulates through the economy from those who value it least to those who value it most. So if you really, really value it, you'll study it, you'll learn about it. And you'll learn about investing. And you'll do it in a stair-step manner. You'll earn the right to risk. You'll reward yourself incrementally and not take so many risks that you end up blowing your money and gambling it away. Because I always say immediate gratification costs you your wealth, but long-term, methodical, strategic vision builds wealth. So the next is 200 benefits now of accumulating a fortune. Because once you have a desire to go build it, you need to have a motive for building it more. Because if you just sit there and want to get to your comfort zone and have financial independence, that's not really where it's at. Because most people that get there, they're going to think, oh, there's more to life than that. I was financial independent many years ago. There's way more than just having enough money to not have to work. Because you really want to be able to get up and dedicate your life to a service anyway. I would rather be able to go so much financial independence that I don't have to work, but I go to work because I love to work. I love to serve people. That's the difference. So you want to accumulate it so that way you have the power to do things in the world, have an influence in the world. The people who have the money and the people who have the gold are the ones that set the golden rules and get things done. And what's valuable is when you accumulate your money, you attract even more money. It's like a magnet comes to you. More people want to take you to lunch, and more people want to buy this, and more, your brand gets bigger. And the value of building wealth. Because when you value you, the world values you. When you invest in you and you save and you accumulate, the world does that around you. Amazing things starts happening. Magnetism, synchronicities, opportunities just synchronize to your life the moment you build this wealth. And the last is 200 benefits of actually creating a financial cause that creates a legacy. Because once you've accumulated your wealth, you're going to do something in the world. You're going to make a difference in the world. So you have to pick the one that you want to make the difference in the most. Find out what it is. In my own life, it's the Demartini Prize, the Demartini Institute, the Demartini Foundation. Because I basically want to do, just like the Nobel Prize, and create a prize for the most extraordinary people doing the most extraordinary things and invest in that. But you got to find what means something to you. Whatever that is, something that really touches your heartstrings and pulls you into action, and you'll do something more with your wealth. Because if you don't have a big enough cause, the bigger your cause, the greater your wealth potential. You've got to have a big cause in your life. And the greater your life, the more inspired and more meaningful it is. So remember those 6 steps. 200 benefits of each one, and they will rise up on your value list. And whatever's highest on your value, you get done. You're inspired spontaneously from within to live by your highest values, but you always got to have motivation when things aren't. So if you raise these 200 benefits on each of these items, these 6 items, these 1,200 things you'll write will be the biggest change in your financial destiny you'll ever come across. You will find yourself now having a big enough reason for doing it. And as I said earlier, when you got a big enough reason for doing it, you do it. So those 6 steps to wealth will help you become the next billionaire. And why not? Why not take on the challenge of having the millionaire mindset and do something extraordinary with your life? I know that I started doing that many years ago, And I'm blessed to do. I get to go places and meet amazing people and do extraordinary things today because I learned the art of building wealth.